only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for man.
What your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I have a dream.
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Who's bringing the chips?
Guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
There is no constitutional issue here. The command of the Constitution is plain.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate.
Little coffee ASMR.
Yeah. Then okay, one more clap. Okay. We're synced. We're synced.
We're synced.
I'm going to call that good. I'm going to say that we are synced and we're good to go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of World Canon. We're finally back. We missed a couple weeks.
We did, but we're
Things
so
came
back.
up. Life happens. It's okay. We're so back. We're more back than ever, as you can see by our beautiful setup. I hope it looks much better on camera. We have a sign.
We have a sign. We
a
got to
sign.
call mom and tell her we made it because we have a sign.
We have
now.
a sign. We have lights. We have black foam. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks like an actual studio. We might as well not even be in the same room.
It's true. It's a complete renovation.
As far as you know, we're in a different location now.
Yeah. We're in an underground bunker preparing for World War III, actually.
Yeah, because depending on how things go in about a week and a half,
Right.
that might be happening.
Yep.
Cheers, boys. We now
Jeez, mate.
have official studio. Well, Alec. That's your
All right.
name.
I'm out of here.
All right, this has been a good one. Alex, what's up, man? How's your week been?
It's been good. We're going to skip past the part where we've been hanging out for like 5 hours.
I know.
It's good, though. Hit the range today. Chris got a shotgun today. That was exciting.
Yeah. I got a brand new shotgun.
Yeah, we shot some
Mossberg.
clay pigeons.
It's called Maverick.
Maverick 88.
Yeah. Super nice shotgun. Great.
It's a
for hunting.
tank. Yeah.
You don't mind if I smoke, do you?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I don't know. I've never done it on the show before.
Okay.
It's sort of a habit, but I don't really care anymore. Like, I mean, there's some people who watch this who might have a bit of an issue.
You smoke?
But yeah.
Since when?
Sure. Dude, I'm a welder, man.
Okay, he
I'm
smokes.
a welder.
This is news to me. I didn't know
Work
this is a thing.
has been so stressful lately. I'd usually wait until afterwards, but
Okay.
it's just it's nice. It's aesthetic. The smoke looks good on camera.
Sure.
It fills empty spaces. I just basically got told the promotion I was promised 4 months ago. There's no longer a position, so I don't really care at this point anymore. A little ASMR.
So I've known Chris for like 3 years now. This is out of character. I don't know what's happening right now.
Hold on.
You sure you've done this before?
The lighter's dead.
Okay. All right.
There you
All right.
go. Want one? Here you go. Don't look at the box.
Why?
It's
Why no look at the box?
okay. Just take one, man. It's all right.
All right.
Tell me what you think. They're pretty good.
Are you Bill Cosbying me right now?
Hold on. We're going to take a little smoke break. It feels so much better, dude. I'm going to set that right there. We just realized we're going to need an ashtray, so 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Keep the people occupied. Oh, you got a little political rant, right?
Yeah. So. This is strong. I don't smoke, so. Oh, excuse me. It's the state of this country right now. It's not good. It hasn't been good for a while. 3.5 years of madness and tyranny has been going on. And I think the American people are pretty fed up with that. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say who's at fault here. And to be honest, I don't really want to point fingers. What I want to do is I want change, and I think everyone wants change. I think that's a good starting point, is to kind of re-identify with what America identifies as, because I think we've all lost sight of what it means to be an American, what this country means. I think one side is really playing politics with words and offense, and then one side is opposing that and opposing kind of the concept of this modern progressive age, and we're forgetting what this country was founded upon. So, dude, these are
so good. I don't know why people hate on this so much. It feels amazing.
I do not like it.
It feels so good. I feel
like
so
it.
cool.
It hurts.
I feel so refreshed. Hold on, we're gonna move the sailboat for this episode.
All right, but
We're gonna put our little ashtray right here instead.
But going back to that, it's
This
like,
is amazing.
I hate this. So, I would never tell anyone who to vote for. I would never tell anyone what they think is wrong. But what I will say is, you're never going to have an ideal political candidate. You're never going to have someone that is perfect in every way and says all of the right things. You're never going to have someone you 100% agree with on every policy, on every perception and perspective that they have on the conflicts going on in the world right now. But it's absolute chaos. Right now is not good. I think anyone can recognize we're involved with foreign wars. We shouldn't be. I think everyone can recognize that the immigration is an issue right now. Okay, numbers are skyrocketing. People are dying. Okay, they're eating the cats. That is real. I don't care what anyone wants to say. That is real. So, there's that. There's the economy. There's house prices, interest rates. There's things that, yes, there's outside factors like COVID and all these things that contributed to that. But these things weren't an issue,
So much
the past however long in America. So I think you just have to ask yourself for this election, what do you want for the future of America? Our country's been so good for 250 years now, and it's founded upon core principles that people live by and are very patriotic about, that has gotten our country to where it is. America is the greatest country on earth, and it still is. Even with stuff going on now, it's better than it would be almost anywhere else. And I think America needs to re-identify with what has got us to that point. And I believe that is a strong economy, strong borders, not involving ourselves with wars we have no part in, putting American people first and putting the money here in America for people that need it, not to foreign aid, not to people who aren't even citizens of the country. I think people get lost when it comes to immigration. I truly do. I think people take offense when someone says, illegals or migrants or whatever you want to call it. And I think immigration is awesome when it's done the right way, when it's done legally. You can't just break laws and then get taxpayer money to keep breaking those laws. You have to have some sort of foundation of principles to say, yes, you are welcome in this country. And the idea of coming to America and living the American dream is 100% a possibility when you do it by the system. There's a system in place for a reason. I have family that goes back maybe 3 or 4 generations that came here from Armenia and Russia. So I am, not too far descended from people that did that process. So I think that's kind of the way that it should be done. In any way aside from that, you are breaking the law. And when taxpayer money is going to people who are here illegally, who are wanted in other countries, who are undocumented, that's where you have issues. That's where you have riots. That's where you have people dying. That's where you
feel the stress leaving my body right now.
That's where you have so many problems that get introduced that were not a problem before. So you have to ask yourself, is that important to you? We can continue to ignore that on one side, while one side pretty much puts their whole foundation on it and says, we're going to stop this because it's not okay. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling you what, you should think. Just open your mind to the idea that that's a problem. Foreign wars are a problem. The economy is a problem. There's a lot of problems right now, and there always will be. But there's one side of the aisle that is promoting all of that. There's one side of the aisle that's throwing that in your face and giving money to not American people, and they're Americans struggling, dying, suffering, can't afford things. So you have to ask yourself, who's going to put the American people first, right? Who's going to put Americans first?
This is awesome. I'm not even worried about the election anymore. This is just...
These taste like...
One?
These no, I don't.
Dude, you have your whole own box. I got another one right here. Here you go. Take it.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to set it right here for you.
Nope.
You can have it later.
Nope.
Oop.
So, for me personally, that's what it comes down to. And I think you have to understand policy, no matter what age you are. If you're going to be a voter in this country, you have to understand policy and how it directly affects everything. Right?
These aren't addicting at all.
You have to...
I can quit this whenever I want. I just love it so much. It just makes me feel so good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good sound right there,
I
guys.
got a cough coming on.
So I think understanding policy and how it directly affects the American people and the rest of the world is very important. I think you need to educate yourself. I think you need to get out and vote. I think you need to go on YouTube and doom scroll through political arguments on both sides of the aisle. You need to watch Fox. You need to watch CNN. You need to invest yourself. It's your duty as a patriot to understand what's going on in the world and to understand how that affects you and the people around you and anyone you care about. You need to understand those things, because I think in our day and age, we have so many uneducated voters on both sides, Republicans, Democrats, whatever you identify, independent, it doesn't matter. You have so many people that are uneducated, not well versed, and are simply voting for a candidate based on a video they saw on YouTube, or based on, oh, they're for this, or at least you heard they were, but you don't know what they've done in office that directly affects policy, right? So I think you really need to understand how that works, not to be a politician, not to, be some know-it-all, but to educate yourself and understand what you're voting, understand what you're implementing in this country. Your vote does matter, guys. It does matter. It is very important. I don't care if you live in the bluest or the most red state in the world. Your vote counts. And I think we live in a time where this is the most important election that we have had. And I think it's going to have a massive impact on the American people and on the future of this country. And that is so good and bad in so many different ways. So get out and vote, educate yourself, understand policy both on our turf and overseas, and really open your mind. Open your mind to, if you're on the right, open your mind to the left. If you're on the left, open your mind to the right. It doesn't matter.
I just
educate
feel
yourself.
So awake and aware, and my brain is just able to focus more. Does that make sense at all?
No, this just hurts my lungs and makes my head hurt.
It's not for me. I think you're doing it wrong.
Gosh, you're chain smoking.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah. You do it all the time, right?
Yeah. I guess I'm pretty used to it. It's an acquired taste, is what they call it.
No. Why? I don't want this.
Yeah, it feels good.
Feels bad.
I think I'm ready for this episode now.
You think?
Dropped one. Oh well. Good thing I have a whole other box here. Yeah, it's all very insightful. Alex?
Chris? What's happening?
We're just doing an episode. You ready to get into this?
Yeah.
Origins of tobacco.
Couldn't have. Wow. Here we are.
Here we go. Way back in ancient days, somewhere... Okay, you know
This
what?
doesn't even-
Stop. These are fake, by the way.
I knew the whole time by the box and how they hit your lungs. This hurts. This hurts way more than a real
You're not
cigarette
supposed
does.
to inhale it, I don't think. You just swallow it.
So what,
in
am I
your-
gonna
you
get
just
cancer?
Hold it in your mouth.
Ooh,
These are-
no more. I was going along, but no more.
Thank you. Thank you for trying.
Oh,
Just for anybody who wanted to hold on, I think the camera just stopped recording. Okay, there we go.
back in action.
Back in action. Back in action.
So back.
And the ciggy in the mouth. And shink. Add 14 minutes. This is going great.
How long did I go on for?
We went for a while. I'm gonna spark up again.
Okay.
That feels so good.
It hurts so bad.
It feels amazing. No. Okay, before anybody yells at me, these are fake cigarettes. They're not real. They do smell very real, though.
They are, yes. The only tell I had is when I inhaled. You can tell it's very painful.
Trash.
It's very painful.
I don't know what is in these. I know it's not tobacco,
Dude.
but it probably might as well be worse.
Dude.
They're like movie prop cigarettes. I bought these off of Amazon.
Leaf herbs.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's poison ivy.
Oh, they're so bad.
I don't know. I think I got real cigarettes though. These are. How do they do this? I don't know. Okay, anyway.
Oh boy.
Let's actually get into this episode.
Please.
Way back in ancient days, somewhere in South America or Central America, not sure exactly which, some gardeners took the plants called Nicotiana sylvestris and Nicotiana tomentosifosa. Those are Latin names.
Oh, cool.
And over time came Nicotiana tabacum, or simply tobacco. Spark 'em up, boys. Turns out the stuff made whoever chewed on it, chewed on its leaves. Hold on, I gotta wipe the ash off of my phone screen here. Turns out the stuff made whoever chewed on its leaves feel warm and tingly. It was nice, and it didn't take long before someone figured out it smelled nice while burning. The smoke also tasted nice. I can attest to that.
Those taste like dog water.
No, these are real cigarettes, dude. I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, they hurt. Oh.
When inhaled, the smoke gave the smoker the same kind of buzz when chewed. People started viewing this as a spiritual healing process. Spiritual healing right here. And the plant itself was one of the healing properties. Because of this, folks started using it in ceremonies too. Whenever one tribe made some sort of deal with another, they would often seal the deal by all sharing a ceremonial pipe, which is a tradition that lasted for thousands of years. Around 2500 BC, the Mayans were growing Nicotiana tabacum for medical purposes and using it by smoking or snorting. Imagine snorting your tobacco.
A little snuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. They came up with the idea to roll the dried plant in its own leaf and sometimes other materials like corn husks, bark, or just other edible leaves, creating the very first version of the cigar. For millennia, this practice was kept to the Western Hemisphere until the late 15th century. European explorers began exporting the stuff back to Europe, where the French were introduced to the cigar and began wrapping it in a fine paper instead, a technique called papelate. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly.
We're going to assume.
This method of smoking was cheaper than buying pipes and cigars and offered a quick fix to the magic healing properties within for just about anyone. This new form of cigar was named the quasi-cigarette by the French. When they made their way back to America, they were known as cigarettes.
See, imagine... Okay, because you grow up and you hear about cigs and you know about tobacco. You're aware of it. Imagine not being aware of it. Imagine, like, this is not a thing. No one does this. You've never heard of this. It's a foreign thing whatsoever. Like, nothing. And then someone just hands you a nice, juicy cigar or some chewing tobacco. Dude, he's a fiend.
Double fisting these is awesome.
Fiend. Ew. No. It looks cool. It doesn't feel cool.
I feel cool. I feel so cool.
It does. It feels bad.
Everybody should do this.
Dude, your lungs are an ashtray right now. Your lungs are frying.
I'm not inhaling it. It's okay.
You should have told me that.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I was inhaling, and I was like, why
You
does
were
it hurt
inhaling
so
it?
bad?
You don't.
Yes, Chris.
No, okay,
when
moving
you
on,
smoke
sorry.
a cig, you inhale it. Right?
Yeah, no, actually, you're right. I am inhaling these. I just have tougher lungs than you because I'm cooler. Because I smoke cigarettes.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, nothing personal. It's just
Freaking nom-vet over here just chain smoking down.
Up to the 1800s, the papelate technique grew increasingly popular, not only in Europe but also worldwide. The demand for these little paper rolls grew so big that many took advantage and began mass producing them. First production plants employed hand rollers who would painstakingly hand roll each and every cigarette. However, in 1881, James Bonsack, crazy last name,
Bonsack.
invented the Bonsack machine, which
Boy,
would
I bet his
roll-
upbringing sucked.
He's the poor kid named Bonsack. Anyway, invented the Bonsack machine. which would roll and cut enough of these rolls to replace 48 hand rollers. In 1884, a man named James Duke purchased 2 of these machines and put them in his plant in the U.S., which sparked others to do the same based off of the efficiency. This came with an issue, though. As popular as the new cigarettes were, people just weren't able to buy as many as were being produced. So, James Duke comes up with the idea to heavily invest in marketing these hygienic, machine-rolled cigarettes. It worked so well that by 1890, he controlled 40% of the American market. Then over the next 10 years, he envelops his 4 biggest competitors into a corporation called the American Tobacco Company, or the ATC. Now, he controlled over 90% of America's market, which is a monopoly. With this power, ATC began cutting prices they paid to tobacco farmers, which started the Black Patch Tobacco Wars from 1904 to 1909. Wars. Hence, this episode's title, as you probably already know, just from viewing, and it probably says it on the... Hold on, I gotta take a puff. I need a constant stream of nicotine. The title episode or whatever on Spotify, that this is about the Black Patch Wars, and I'm sure most people have never heard of that, but after today, you're gonna know all about it. You sure you don't want another
There's
one?
a
dude?
lot of smoke in here, Chris. I will pass. There's a whole carton right there. No.
I got another box here. So
How many did you buy?
come in packs of 3s.
See, this is what happens. People discover a thing that hasn't been discovered, and then they see money in it. So it's like, ooh, money, and then they start mass producing it, and then we fight a war over it.
These are like gold, dude. I'm gonna put this in my pocket.
How's your head feel? How's your lungs?
Never better.
Okay.
I feel amazing. I feel like a superhero.
Superhero chain smoker.
Mm-hmm. That's my superpower. I just got a constant nicotine buzz. My synapses fire faster than anybody else. Okay, Black Patch Wars. What were they? Let's talk about them. First, the Black Patch Wars are called so because the region they occurred in, Kentucky and Tennessee, grew a lot of black-fired tobacco. At first, the Black Patch Wars started as a peaceful dispute between the ATC and the Planters Protective Association, or the PPA. The PPA's goal was to regain some control over the sale price of tobacco. For the first year, the PPA used peaceful tactics through business meetings and legal tactics against the ATC. Though the PPA's tactics were peaceful, at first they were pretty aggressive. Many farmers and tobacco businessmen were not convinced at first about joining, and if PPA members couldn't convince them to join, then they would collectively have them boycotted to force them to join. This didn't work on everyone, though, and ATC took advantage by offering anyone who refused to join exceptionally high sale prices for their tobacco and tobacco products. The PPA took to calling these holdouts hillbillies. Hillbillies. For a year, the PPA... Hold on. I don't know why people say these things are addicting.
Yeah. You only scarfed down
I don't
20
get
of
it.
them.
Oh, that's nothing, dude. It's just a little taste. Little
Another
snack.
Saturday for Chris, I
Yeah,
guess.
this is... For a year, PPA members refused... I got some in my eyes. Okay, that does kind of hurt. But
Eye burner.
For a year, PPA members refused to sell to the ATC, which they had now begun referring to as the Trust, until they raised their sale prices. However, the ATC had plenty of other tobacco resources, it turns out, and after that first year, basically no progress was made. This obviously frustrated those in the PPA, whose next logical course of action was to resort to violence.
It's the cycle. It's the cycle of money. Someone makes
circle of
something.
life.
They see money. They sell it and they market it. Someone else gets involved because they're pissed because they want money too. They tax it. They disagree on terms and policy. And then people die. Mm-hmm. Definitely hasn't happened with oil.
Whale oil and ground fossil fuel oil.
Oil.
Any kind of oil.
Yes.
It's happened with.
Oil.
However, the ATC had plenty of other... Oh, wait, hold on. I already read that part, didn't I? In October 1905, around 32 PPA members in Robertson County, Tennessee, gathered and drafted a list of grievances against the trust and hillbillies. And now I just love that they call them hillbillies. That's so funny. And now had the intention to visit as many members as possible in groups of no less than 5 and no more than 2,000. Then they would convince them to their point of view. Pretty quickly, other counties followed and more posses sprouted up. These posses began coordinating and getting organized essentially into a paramilitary group. This group would send out men in forces mostly at night, which gave them the title Night Riders.
That's a pretty sick name.
Yeah, actually,
That's pretty sick.
pretty
name.
cool. These sorties against the trust quickly turned more and more violent, though. Most attacks were targeted towards property, but there were many individuals who themselves were attacked. After a while, and with the training of Major Farrell, who was a PPA member, these Night Riders learned to travel in organized rows of 2, wearing hoods and masks and wrapping their horses' hooves in cloth to keep them quiet. This then gave them the name the Silent Brigade. Now we got it's
Crazy
like a
names.
weird version of the KKK or something.
Oh no.
It's an extra efficient.
A weirder version than the
Yeah,
KKK?
they're more efficient and they're all about tobacco.
Oh no.
Oh, that's good stuff. For the next several months, the Silent Brigade's Night Riders would ride out at night and burn tobacco fields. They'd burn down warehouses and blow up farm machinery, salt potential tobacco fields, among many other things to hurt hillbillies' crops. By 1906, they numbered around 10,000 members. I think the camera shut
Camera
off
just
again.
die again, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It like records for 10 minutes and then shuts itself off for some reason. Whoa. Hey guys, real quick. So I didn't realize that apparently my camera can only record on its own for 12 minutes before shutting off due to some sort of tax reasons for the company making their cameras or that particular camera as only photography cameras. So they deliberately nerf its recording abilities to only be about 12 minutes. So I had to switch over to OBS, so you'll notice the quality drops exponentially, but that's an artistic choice, so don't bash me for it. Anyway, back to it. Hope you enjoy. Please follow the socials and support us on all our platforms. You know, like, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps a lot. And thank you so much. Anyway, back to the episode. And syncing for the third time. Okay.
We back?
We're back. You know
We're
what? It really is true. It's not a World Canon episode without some technical difficulties.
It's a theme around here.
It is. It's
Yeah.
our thing. It's our
It is.
shtick.
That would
Take
be a
another
bad
sip.
name, Technical Difficulties.
That'd be fun.
World Canon sponsored by Technical Difficulties.
Technical gift. Dude, I can't even say it. Those cigarettes are twisting my
Can't
tongue.
English, yeah. Twisting your lungs and
Mm-hmm.
vocal cords around.
Anyway, where even were we?
I do not know.
The Silent Brigade. That's right. For the next several months, the Silent Brigade's Night Riders would ride out at night and burn tobacco fields, burn down warehouses, blow up farm machinery, salt potential tobacco fields, among many other things to hurt hillbillies' crops. By 1906, they numbered around 10,000 members. This wasn't the worst of it, though. Any hillbillies or trust members who refused to comply or, heaven forbid, tried to defend their property were beaten and whipped by the hooded Night Riders.
Dude, the worst would be just like a civilian passing by a burning tobacco field. You get the gnarliest headache and rush of nicotine. That'd be horrible.
Put me in there.
Put me in the smoke chamber. Oh, that'd be bad, dude. That'd be bad.
For the Night Riders, though, just burning fields wasn't enough because the ATC wasn't getting the point. They had to get drastic. On November 1st, 1906...
Sorry. Continue.
They didn't get the gist. They weren't
delivery.
catching the hint.
It was just a delivery.
They weren't
on
catching
that.
the hint, dude. They had to get drastic. On December 1st, 1906, Night Riders made their way into the town of Princeton, Kentucky. the home of the JG, or Tobacco Factory, and the Sturger and Dollar Tobacco Warehouse. Both parts of the ATC, the trust.
Nice.
Once night fell, they pulled on their masks and immediately seized the police station, the fire station, telegraph and phone offices, and even shut off the town's water supply. Anyone who tried to go outside or intervene was ordered inside and occasionally shot at. Once those tasks were done, 200 men rode in on horses, and they quickly set up to planting dynamite in the JG factory and setting fire to the warehouse. Once both places were nothing but raging infernos and 75 tons of non-PPA tobacco was destroyed, the men calmly rode out of town, allegedly singing, "The fires shine bright on my old Kentucky home."
Imagine just walking out of your house, you see bullets fleeing by your head. Go back inside. Get back in. We got tobacco smoke. Dude, all this over like...
Oh, speaking of which, that sounds pretty
No.
Yeah, no, okay, now we gotta take a break. I gotta.
My head hurts.
The trust still didn't relent, and so Princeton wasn't the end for the night riders. Nearby lay the town of Hopkinsville, where there were 2 other large trust warehouses. This time, though, the people of Hopkinsville were on high alert. The police force and state militia, along with a lot of armed citizens, stood constant watch. For more than a year, the town was on alert with a full defense plan in action, but after more than 12 months, the people likely grew complacent, not thinking an attack to come anymore, whereas the night riders, who had been coming in and out of town daily, hadn't. On December 7th, 1907, 250 night riders walked in on foot this time, and Princeton was played out again. The police and fire stations were seized and water was shut off. The local militia was completely caught by surprise. The fires this time did get out of control, though, and spread to a rail yard where an engineer was shot in the back with buckshot while trying to fight the fires, but somehow survived.
State militia. I like the sound of that. The state militia. That's
Ironically, those used to be around all the time. Ironically, one of the fires, well, I mean, I guess it's technically like State National Guard now,
good. Right.
but I think back then it was like more just like you and your neighbors basically ran it.
Yeah. What this country was founded on, yeah.
Yeah, if you go back to that, the fires got out of control, engineer shot in the back. Ironically, one of the fires spread to a PPA warehouse, burning it to the ground too. Once again, they sang Old Kentucky Home on their way out. But this time, the militia counterattacked the night riders, and as they left town, a small militia posse attacked from the rear, killing one of them and wounding another. Just a quick little jab in the back, like the kidney as they were walking away.
Always goes to this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Death.
It's not the end. The attack on Hopkinsville sparked the governor of Kentucky to react, and he ordered the state militia to duty. They were sent to Hopkinsville and other places that were deemed as potential targets, and wherever the state guard was, no raids ever took place. But they couldn't cover everywhere. On January 3rd, 1908, the Silent Brigade attacked Russellville, Kentucky. They swept in with military precision and burned down 2 ATC factories. And to make it worse, on August 1st, 1908, the jailhouse was sieged again by 100 night riders, demanding 4 blackmail prisoners who were a friend of another man named Browder, who had shot the man they all sharecropped for in self-defense. The owner had whipped him and shot him in an altercation. The 4 men in jail were arrested for expressing approval. The prisoners were handed over, and the night riders took them and hung all 4 from a tree.
When I saw you start smoking, I was like, he's either joking or going through a midlife crisis. Dude, was
Both.
this in a small town?
Yeah. I don't think you heard what I just said.
Both.
These guys just hung 4 black guys just because. 4 nice young men.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Was this a small town?
I don't know, Russellville, Kentucky. I'm assuming so.
So I'm trying to like paint the picture, right? Because that's so scary to think that there's like towns that can't defend themselves. And they like seize the courthouse and the police station. Like imagine that. Like now we have law and order. Like you can't do that anywhere.
Yeah.
There's nowhere you can go where you
It's
can like
kinda
just
really
take over the town
tough to
and
do.
make it yours, start burning things and killing people. Like that's not possible now. But back then, in a small town, you could do that.
Yeah, they did.
just to paint the picture. Like,
They did
that's
it a
insane.
lot.
That's absolutely insane, dude.
How many?
You smoked like 10.
I really went ham.
You just ripping down cigs.
I didn't even smoke them all the way down though. That feels wasteful.
Well, I mean, you got like 50 more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hold on. Where'd they go? Where's all my boxes?
Well, there's one.
Oh, there's one over there.
Nice.
I'll save it for later. In February of 1908, 2 raids were staged in Crittenden County, Kentucky. Several farms and warehouses were burned between the separate attacks, and 2 men were held prisoner and whipped for refusing to join the PPA. One while tied to a tree and was whipped with thorny branches. Sounds nice. Then in April that year, the Silent Brigade rode into Birmingham, Kentucky, and Marshall County. There they found the black neighborhoods and rode through and indiscriminately firing into their homes. They justified this due to the white sharecroppers in Birmingham had learned to not take work from hillbillies and trust members, but most of the black sharecroppers hadn't. While shooting into homes, some people were hit, but one, John Scruggs, and his young grandson were killed. And of course, people were taken captive and beaten.
So this is not really that different than the KKK. It's just like the KKK, and they really like tobacco.
Yeah, basically.
Gosh.
The KKK, and they're all nicotine addicts.
Yeah,
That's
they're all just
basically-
fiends on top of it. That's crazy.
It's just, nighttime KKK,
Yeah.
which was also the regular KKK. But these guys,
Just really, really like Marlboros.
these guys were way more efficient.
Yeah.
I don't know if the KKK ever took over a town. We should do an episode on the KKK.
That would be controversial, but
That would
I'm
be
down.
fun.
I'm
That
down.
would- yeah, that fits our bill. Marshall County authorities weren't the type to roll over, however, and law enforcement pursued the Night Riders hard. They ended up arresting a few who were so scared to testify against the PPA that 2, and I'm saying this because YouTube will even strike us, as small of a channel as it is, deleted themselves. 2 guys were so scared to testify that they deleted themselves. Unalived. Night Riders attempted to intimidate the Marshall County Court and judge, but that just angered law enforcement further to press further charges, sentencing one Night Rider to a year of prison, and $25,000 in damages were awarded to a couple black plaintiffs, which is a lot back in like 1900.
Yeah, that's a chunk of change. Yeah,
that is a ton. Also, in April, the Kentucky National Guard finally gets involved, sending a young Lieutenant Wilburn. Wilburn quickly set to raiding the Night Raiders' known places of gathering and stockhouses. Wilburn's men made dozens of arrests, and almost immediately the Silent Brigade's raids ended and the Night Riders' power was lost. With their strong arm gone, the PPA lost their influence, and the Black Patch War ended officially in 1909. Lieutenant Wilburn was promoted to captain. However, the PPA continued to operate until 1914, when the start of World War I shut down their exportation to Europe, which was their only real market. So basically, ATC kept its monopoly. It wasn't until 1911 that the U.S. government ordered the ATC to break off into separate companies to break their monopoly. So essentially, the Black Patch Wars were for nothing.
Overcome power with power.
Yeah.
It's good somebody stepped in and put a stop to the hangings and the burnings. It's
Fight cigarettes with fire. Anyway, fast forward several decades, and who would have thought cigarettes are bad for you?
wow. Couldn't have guessed that. I thought they were good.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, Chris over here is a freaking fiend, dude.
They're awesome. I still don't believe any of what people say about how they're bad for you. I just love these things.
Yeah, they actually make you stronger.
They do. They
your
make
bones
me
nice
feel
and healthy.
better.
They're good for your brain and your lungs.
Good for my lungs.
Yep.
I feel like I can breathe better. They make my cold feel like it's going away.
Yeah.
They just make me feel alive.
Definitely not getting cancer and hacking up black
They
nastiness.
make me feel alive.
Just hacking up a loogie that's the color of dirt.
Anyway, since World War I, cigarettes became extremely just hacking up black gunk.
Dude, yeah, you smoke enough.
Yeah, I might do some of that later.
Yeah.
Since World War I, cigarettes became extremely popular. Cigarette companies took advantage of the war effort in both world wars with ads showing soldiers smiling as they enjoyed a cigarette.
Yeah, actually, I've had a change of heart.
Yeah, spark one up, dude.
Gosh, man.
Smoke them if you got them. This is patriotic.
Life's pretty short, you know.
Eesh. So enjoy it.
Gotta smoke some fake ciggies. I'm not inhaling this time, though. That'd have been so nice enough where I just huffed down half of one of these, dude. My lungs are dying.
I feel so patriotic.
I mean, it does feel cool.
I feel awesome.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't hurt when you don't inhale. So you basically use it kind of like a cigar.
Yeah. That's how you smoke cigarettes.
They taste so oddly similar to the real thing. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They just hurt. It really feels like someone's. I don't know how to explain it. You know when you ever like
Just burns.
you ever like done cardiovascular activity when it's freezing outside?
Hold on.
And
Hold on. Keep talking. Keep saying what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
oh no! I almost just put the mic up my ass on accident. Okay, you ever done cardiovascular activity when it's really cold? When it's really cold. Okay, and you get that burny, like, cold sensation. It almost feels like your throat is metal, and it's cold metal, and it like burns and hurts. That's what it feels like to inhale this.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. This feels pretty smooth to me.
It feels like I'm dying each puff I take.
I know who I'm voting for. Once again, good point Alex brought up. Go vote.
Go vote. Educate yourself, please.
I want 4 more years of this.
Oh yeah?
Listen, I'll smoke cigarettes anywhere, but I'd rather smoke them in the comfort of my home than a foxhole in another country.
I would have to concur with that statement.
Yeah. I feel so cool.
Every time I inhale, I feel like I'm knocking years off my existence.
Everyone should do this. I feel just like those soldiers in the posters. This is awesome.
How much money do you think they spent during the wars on cigarettes?
Probably a ton, but think of how much money they made.
Just shipments.
Uh-huh.
People back in the States or wherever they're getting them from, just getting rich. You got these young 18-year-olds that never held a gun,
Yeah,
shooting at commies. And
your leg blown off, and the one comfort to you is one of these little lung darts.
oh,
Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna start doing this at work.
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I would, but I work in an office.
This room smells like a bowling alley now. Like an old bowling alley.
It smells like my uncle. Not even joking.
This smells like the carport beside the back door at my work where everybody
smells-
takes their smoke breaks.
It smells like every man born before 1985.
Dude, I wish I had a Harley right now.
I wish I had an extra lung to take this heat, man.
Yeah. You know what? I want another one. Anyway, I guess I'll get back to reading.
Chris takes one puff and goes, you know, that's really good. I'll have 14 more. Give me 14 more.
You know, life is short. You gotta enjoy it.
Give me the whole menu.
Oh, yeah, you know, there's so much stress. Everybody puts so much pressure on you nowadays to just be healthy and to make, you know, do big things.
Tony Soprano.
Just work a 9 to 5.
Sell some
Take
drugs.
a smoke break.
Take a smoke break. I'm not enjoying this. I
And
don't know
get
why.
the extra patty on your burger if you want it. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
YOLO.
But yeah, soldiers on posters smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes were included in soldiers' rations in World War II. Imagine that. Chocolate bar, MRE, and a cigarette. Old celebrities endorsed their favorite brands, and with certain beauty queens, like Maria Connolly, who posed for Chesterfield cigarette ads, one of the oldest cigarette companies starting in 1873, in the 1940s and 50s, it had a caption reading, "After a man's heart." She was 16 at the time.
Dude, the filter on these looks like a fidget spinner.
Oh, it does.
So, you said 1860 something? This company, Chester?
Yeah, it started in 1873.
So, what was the the original starting point for like tobacco? Like, how far back does that date, if you know?
Just tobacco?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you go back and listen to our intro, there's like something, couple thousand BC.
Okay, that's what I figured. But like the actual like commercial production of it.
Oh yeah, that started like mid 1800s.
Okay.
Or mid late 1800s.
We're tracking now. We're tracking.
Okay, cool. But yeah, this model was 16 when she was like smoking cigarettes and posing for cigarette ads.
Yeah, cool job.
Yeah, I'm
Smoke
sure.
darts all day and get paid.
Just pose like half nude too.
Yeah.
At 16.
That's kind of creepy.
It is. It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
I think she lied about her age though.
Probably. Well, this was a while ago.
That is true.
It was a little more lawless.
It was. Yeah, it's crazy how many of those old celebrities just like marry children. Clip it. That's going on Instagram Reels.
That is pretty crazy, dude.
That is a YouTube short right there.
I think that might have to go in the intro, dude. Go in the intro.
Just holding cigarettes and sunglasses. She was a child. We should do this every episode.
You think?
And my wife would kill me.
Yeah, it did.
I'm going to have to air out this room.
It reeks.
I'm going to have to light like a dozen candles. I'm going to have to go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
You just think there's someone's house that's
that-
like this all the time.
It's like old people's houses.
Yeah, no, you smoking again. Oh,
This is awesome, though. I could see myself doing this for the rest of my short life.
good God.
Or maybe I'll be one of those people who like smokes their whole life and lives to be like 98.
Nope.
That means it's working.
It's like, I'll be 79? 78 and a half?
Wait, hold on. Here you go. I got you.
75?
I got you. 95? 55. There we go. Oh, yeah, that tasted great. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. I'm going to smoke mine down to the filter. Cigarette companies chose many ways to market their product. As just mentioned, they often chose the seductive appeal. By putting attractive women smoking their cigarettes, they made their cigarettes attractive. Not only to men, but to women too, who wanted to be like those models. Other ways were by appealing to the macho man and advertising with soldiers, sailors, pilots, and old cowboy actors. Another Chesterfield ad showed two sailors giving a parrot a cigarette to advertise their mild brand. Camel and Marlboro, which had both been out for a couple decades now, they too took advantage of the marketing scheme. Marlboro was quick to surround the cowboy market. They have always been a Western-style cowboy brand and model tough-looking men in cowboy hats riding on horseback. It was the cigarette of the steer wrestler and the gunslinger.
Dude, using attractive women for marketing is like, that works, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does.
For like literally any product, it doesn't matter.
Especially, your old school chain smoking guy with a
Little
mullet
cancer stick.
back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He'll spend his Thursday nights at the bowling alley.
With his uncle.
Uh-huh.
Who taught him how to smoke.
Yeah, smoke cigarettes together in the bowling alley.
Sounds like a great relationship.
It really does,
Yeah.
actually. I kind of wish I had that growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Camel, on the other hand, took a much different approach. Not only did they come up with their humanoid camel character named Joe Camel, amazing original name, but they took the bold approach of advertising doctors' endorsements. Get this, dude, cigarettes are good for you.
Lawless.
Their claim to fame was that doctors smoke Camels more than any other cigarette. Other ads had pictures of doctors holding a pack of Camels and saying either, "Have a fresh cigarette," or "Not one single case of throat irritation to report."
There's absolutely nothing fresh about a cigarette.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. This feels pretty fresh.
It makes me feel 30 years older.
This
it
is
makes me
fresher than Subway.
smoke, darts, eat fresh.
Have it your way, dude.
What do you think went through the first person's brain that smoked a cigarette?
This is the greatest thing on earth. You know all those like movies of like guys, like it happens like old, like a while ago, like usually there's like a dude like working on something. It's like a montage of him like sitting at a desk working on something, like racking his brains, and then it does a time lapse of his ashtray, and it's like piled high with cigarette butts by the end of the night.
Yes.
I see why they do that. I feel like I could figure out, like, I suck at math, but I feel like I could figure out the world's most complicated math equation now.
You might have to same day order more with the little Amazon drone.
I
You can just
should.
like drop it through there.
I should have a constant supply of these coming in every week. They're great, dude.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
As many as you want. I'll take them all. But yeah, no throat irritation to report. And of course, you can't forget all the attractive models and soldiers sharing foxholes and a pack of camels. Surprisingly enough, lung cancer became an epidemic.
Shocker.
I don't know why. I think it's unrelated.
Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
I'm never getting lung cancer, dude. I weld for a living and I chain smoke cigarettes. My lungs are tough.
Yeah, you're just sharpening the axe. I mean, you're
Exactly.
just making them
It's
stronger.
like building my immune system. But
Yeah.
in my lungs, I can't get lung cancer. It's impossible for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once an extremely rare disease, now everyone was getting it. Some doctors were pretty quick to realize it was probably the cigarettes to blame. I think that's a crazy
It's a
conspiracy.
hot take. I don't know.
I think that's just cuckoo talk. But ever the experts in propaganda, cigarette companies, especially Camel, took to dissuading the public for this idea. Some people say propaganda. I think just telling the truth, good marketing. Like, you don't have to market a good product that hard.
You don't. Think about In-N-Out. They don't have commercials.
Yeah,
They don't need to.
people love In-N-Out.
Yeah. Everyone knows In-N-Out, and you've never seen an In-N-Out commercial. You'll never see an ad on your phone. Nope. Only word of mouth. That's how you know the product's good.
Mm-hmm. I never like seen a cigarette ad other than like at a gas station. And, I mean, they're awesome.
Dude, if anything, the vape companies are putting in tons of money for marketing to throw up commercials telling you not to smoke and to switch over to vape,
Mm-hmm.
which is equally, I think it's bad. I think it's as bad.
And I mean, like, I don't think they need to advertise that much. Like, even in gas stations, like, I mean, they don't, and people buy them all the time. That's just a good product. People just know it. You don't need to advertise it. Like, people buy so
Yeah,
many
it's just good
cigarettes
for you. I
every year.
mean, you know,
It's a nice pastime. Like, if you're feeling hungry and you're trying to lose weight, smoke
scarf
a
down a
cigarette.
box of darts.
Yeah.
Super healthy. It's
Couple
kind of like
months
Ozempic.
yeah.
Ozempic.
Except
Seen the Gillis bit? Ozempic.
Shane Gillis pie.
So if you just took Ozempic, smoked 10 packs of darts a day, and were on Adderall all the time,
You could lose 100
you'd be
pounds in a
so
week.
skinny. You get so lean. Yeah.
I'm going to just start smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee instead of eating food. That's going to be my diet. Like, when I really
I bet
want to
you'll
cut
feel
weight.
great.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
That sounds good. It sounds like a fast,
Yeah.
you know?
And 50 years ago, I mean, a doctor would tell you the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just don't eat for a few days. Just smoke cigarettes and drink some black coffee when you feel hungry.
Good to go.
I might try that.
You'd be wired, too. I mean,
Like,
you
when
have
I
so
wanna
much
lose some
energy,
weight.
you'll just accomplish so much more.
I feel like my brain would work really well. Like, I'd be able to think clearly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd...
Super level-headed,
Yeah.
you know.
Just like you say, like, feel real energetic and
Yeah.
focused. I do gotta say, I feel so cool, though, with the aviators and this going on.
Yeah.
Like, I want a motorcycle right now, too.
A motorcycle.
I wish that Poppy
An
were out in the
M16
hall.
with a bayonet.
I wish
a
that
1911
Poppy, yes.
in the 4 o'clock position outside the waistband, dressed in army green. Nothing but a patriot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
These are probably way worse for you.
They're
than
probably
regular
way worse. They
cigarettes.
hurt so bad, dude.
These are awesome. I love these. Yeah. The propaganda worked so well that even by the 1960s, most doctors and people were still in agreement that cigarettes were pretty okay. Once Vietnam rolled around, once again, soldiers found cigarettes in their rations. Also around this time, the household television came to be, and right there in your living room, cigarette companies could put their ads showing how great their products were. Cigarette consumption went way up, and so did the rate of lung cancer. By the 70s, the government under President Nixon took initiative, convinced they were unhealthy, and in 1971 banned advertisement on TV and radio. Nowadays, ads are really only found in stores and magazines, but always with a note from the general surgeon on their addictiveness and toxicity, which I think is still a load of bull. Like, just...
Yeah, there's no truth to it.
Conspiracy, nut jobs.
Yeah, fake news.
Show me the proof.
Fake news, Russian
Show me
hoax,
the proof.
fake
Show
news.
me one person, one single person. That is, hold on. Show me one single person that has died from lung cancer from smoking cigarettes, and I'll stop. There is.
Will you, though?
I'll think about it.
You'll think about
I'll
it.
think about it. Cigarette production has come a long way from the bond sack machine with things like the
Bone sack.
Fancico. We're like one letter away from it being much better. Fancico and Corber machines, which can produce around 20,000 cigarettes per minute. I need one of those in my house. I need one of those in my house. In my kitchen. I'll replace my coffee machine with one of those. It sounds awesome. Cigarettes today are the number one leading cause to lung cancer. I don't even know why I typed
Load
that
of
in
crap.
there. Yeah.
Fake news.
I don't even know why I typed that in here. And many cases of throat cancer. I also don't know why I typed that in here. Nearly one death is attributed to every 1 million cigarettes smoked. Around 1.5 million deaths per year, which is expected to be about 2 million within the next few years. That means at least 7 trillion cigarettes have to be smoked each year. Also, cigarette manufacturers make about a penny per cigarette. That means they make around $35,000 per human life. I guess that's probably a whole bunch of hogwash. I don't know why
Cigarette
that's in
math.
there.
Tobacco math.
Yeah. Oh, I let that go out. That's crazy.
Very unlike you.
I usually put it right down.
Yeah.
You want another one? You want to take a box home? I got plenty, dude. I don't mind sharing. Hold on, I'm gonna show thoughts. Alex, would you like to share? This is amazing, dude. I'm gonna get another one.
Dude, smoke's gonna start coming out of your ears. And your eyes.
It already is. This is amazing. So what are your thoughts, Alex?
My thoughts. Definitely don't be like him. Is
What do you
my
mean?
thoughts. You'll die early.
I feel so good.
Here's what I will say. If you're going to consume tobacco or nicotine, find an alternative method that is
I
Not
just gotta
better?
get more of these.
not better because you can't fix worse with still bad, but with something that's less detrimental to your longevity and your health. Because if you do that all the time, you will have problems. Okay? It's not fake news. The stats are
Oh,
there.
that's so good.
Okay? Chris might flop dead any moment now. I don't know. I've seen him smoke like 14 of those things in the past hour. Okay?
Hold on. I'm breaking new ground here.
I think later when Chris like farts and smoke's gonna come out. Is he have 4? Is that 4?
I don't know, dude. I lost count.
Imagine there's someone out there who like doesn't want to like is wants to unalive themselves but like doesn't want to do it, but they really like cigarettes, so they just like keep smoking them until they unalive.
a life, dude. There's gonna be somebody who's trying to quit who watches this who realizes that they were wrong and just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh
Goes
yeah,
back
I'm
to
just
that sweet goodness.
yeah. So it's crazy because anything you can market and sell and there's money involved with, there's a lot of other things people don't consider. There's typically a war fought over anything that's, has the capability to produce a lot of money. I mean, think about, oil. Think about how America started, right? Tea, and they start taxing it. It's like, well, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to control us. You're not going to tell us what to do, and then here we are 250 years later. And we have this, right?
You want to get in on this?
No.
Okay, keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah, like, it's crazy to see the origination of things like this. It all starts somewhere. I'm one of those people where I really like to put myself in other shoes when we talk about these things to do with history. I really like to imagine what it was like to be them. Not that you can, not that but it's fun to think about. It's fun to think about, well, what about the guy that first tried a cigarette? Like a real cigarette, not this...
That's so
whatever
smooth.
that is, okay? Those are worse than cigarettes. But imagine being the first guy, right? Imagine being like just at your house one day and you walk outside and you had bullets fleeing by your face because people want to tax tobacco. It's crazy to imagine, especially the society we live in now where it's like, yes, there's a lot of problems, but it's pretty civil. It's pretty civil. You can go outside your house and safely get in the car and do things you need to do. And it's a little more rare to have issues with that. So imagining what it was like to be the people in that town, imagining what it was like to, create a cigarette and create smoking tobacco and smokeless tobacco. And the way that's kind of evolved to what it is today, right? You have vapes, you got Zens, you got, the Declaration of Zen Dependence. You got all these different things and alternatives, nicotine patches, chew and dip. Like you got all these different things. It's such a big market. And a lot of it is unfortunate, but there's no second guessing that it's probably good for the economy. Unfortunately, a lot of negative things are very good for the economy. Anything that can, you can really push to people and they'll do it and they'll buy it, and it's a long-term game. I mean, think about how long these have been sold and in production. The companies are ancient that have been making this stuff. A lot of people have gotten very rich off of fiends like Chris over here. So
I wonder,
something to think about.
I'm benefiting from the wealth right now. I wonder if I see why they like consider this like a spiritual healing.
Yeah, you on Mars
or back then, yeah. I can see why the old First Nation people did this. I wonder if you can invest in cigarette companies.
Yeah, you can.
Investing.
You probably can.
Last time, yeah. Lockheed Martin and stuff like that. But I'd invest in Camel.
Tobacco industrial complex.
Yeah, the tobacco industrial. Tick.
Just tick.
Yeah, thick.
Tick.
Tick. I don't know.
Tick.
Yeah, I invest in Mick and Tick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there are worse things, guys, but this is bad. I don't know about you, Chris. My head wants to jump out of my skull right now.
I feel so good. Smoke them if you got them. Thanks for listening to the end. I'm going to have a fun time splicing all this together because the camera decided to stop recording twice in the middle of this, but I've got some cigarettes to get me through that process. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Alex. Thank you for listening to the end. Hope this was very informative. Go buy some cigarettes, kids. Alex, you got anything to say?
Well, I mean, thanks for watching the World Canon podcast, sponsored by Technical Difficulties and Cancer Sticks. Thanks for listening to my political rant. There's a lot more I wanted to include there. I wanted to try and not, throw myself under the bus and tell you all my views. Just kind of, anyone who's watching, anyone who's listening, say, hey, this stuff's really important. Educate yourself. I know I'm not a super intelligent person when it comes to politics, but I feel like I've done my due diligence as a patriot doing that. Dude, my head hurts so bad. But if you don't want your head to hurt super bad, don't smoke, and educate yourself on who you're voting for. Big election coming up. Other than that, thanks for watching. Pray for Chris's lungs, and we'll see you next time.
I'm running for presidency. Vote for me. I know it's a little last minute, but write me in on the ballot.
Yeah.
Alex, you want to be my VP?
Chris Cancerstick Lundell.
Yes. All right. World Canon 2024. Let's go. Oh, I dropped hot ash on my leg. Oh, that burns.
Sucks to suck.